Marilyn Monroe died tragically in 1962 from a sleeping pill overdose. Our Tim Estiloz takes a look back not at Marilyn's tragic death, but instead her long-lasting legacy on film. Tim?
Barry, actors and actresses in Hollywood come and they go, but only a handful have achieved the iconic status of Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn only starred in about 20 films ranging from comedy to the dramatic, but their images are indelible. In fact, you could say Marilyn Monroe was truly the first movie superstar.
While tearing off a game of golf, I may make a play for the caddy, but when I do, I don't follow through, 'cause my heart belongs to Daddy.
She was born Norma Jean Mortensen, later baptized as Norma Jean Baker. But nearly a half-century after her death, fans worldwide still idolize her as the one and only Marilyn Monroe.
She was just playing a classic, okay? She's well known as far as the movie business. When you think of movies, you think of Marilyn Monroe.
She was a comedian, a dramatic actress. She did it all, really.
Running wild, lost control. Running wild, mighty bold. Feeling gay, reckless too. Carefree mind all the time, never blue.
1959's Some Like It Hot was one of Marilyn's most fondly remembered films that featured her talents as a comedienne.
I'm Sugar Cane.
Hi. Sugar Cane?
Yeah, I changed it. It used to be Sugar Kowalczyk.
Polish?
Yes. I come from this musical family. My mother is a piano teacher, and my father was a conductor.
Where did he conduct?
On the Baltimore and Ohio.
Oh.
Anybody who says she wasn't an actress, I'd say sit down and watch Some Like It Hot. And there she's playing the stereotypical bubble-headed blonde sex pot, and it's one of the great performances on film.
Like most actresses, Marilyn began her career in small roles, including one in a famous Bette Davis film that featured this memorable line.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
In 1950's All About Eve, Marilyn's small scene foreshadowed her career to come.
I don't want to make trouble. All I want is a drink.
Leave it to me. I'll get you one.
Thank you, Mr. Fabian.
Well done. I can see your career rising in the East like the sun.
Despite enraging directors and co-stars with her sometimes erratic behavior, 1955's 7-Year Itch was one of Marilyn's most popular and sexually charged comedies, one that included this iconic screen moment.
Oh, do you feel the breeze from the subway? Isn't it delicious?
The film also had Hollywood censors working overtime to tone down its sexy scenes.
Suddenly he turned on me. His eyes bulging. He was frothing at the mouth, just like the creature from the Black Lagoon.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
You know, when you see Marilyn Monroe on the silver screen, it's easy to understand why her image is just as unforgettable today as it was when she was alive. And there's no denying that when Marilyn was on the screen, she was the quintessential movie star.
A kiss on the hand may be quite continental, but diamonds are a girl's best friend. A kiss may be grand, but it won't pay the rental on your humble flat or help you at the automat.
As much as people hated working with her, there was no denying that when she was on the screen, she had it. She had that certain indefinable something that the camera loved her, audiences loved her, and you can't take your eyes off of her.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
But Marilyn also had a series of memorable dramatic roles as well, including one as a cheating wife scheming to murder her jealous husband.
Hello. You called.
Listen, it's got to be tomorrow. Do you hear me? Tomorrow. He just made a big row in front of everyone. After this, nothing's going to surprise anyone. It's made to order.
Can you get him there?
There's always a way to handle George. Be at the place as soon as it opens.
Okay, kid. It's a date.
Why did you get married? I fell in love.
when you fall in love?
I don't know. Can't eat or sleep.
Like an ache in the stomach?
Same thing, only in the heart. You'll find out when you get older.
How old are you?
That's no question to ask a lady. Not that I'm a lady.
Why aren't you?
See me in about 10 years, I'll try and tell you.
You have to get something to be human. You never felt anything for anybody in your life. All you know is the sad words. You could blow up the world, and all you would feel is sorry for yourself.
Sadly, Marilyn's final film was never completed. Her sexy comedy, Something's Got to Give, seemed to be doomed from the start.
A man's wife spends 5 years on an island with a strange man.
Would you like it any better if I knew him?
And it slips her mind.
Well, I was going to tell you, but I know how upset you get about little things.
Little things?
Something's Got to Give never finished filming. On August 5th, 1962, Marilyn Monroe tragically died from an overdose of sleeping pills and was buried by her loyal ex-husband, Joe DiMaggio. But 45 years later, Marilyn's legacy lives forever on film, a legacy that's become Hollywood legend.
I don't mean rhinestones, but diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Joe DiMaggio was devastated by Marilyn's death, and he continued to adore his ex-wife until his own passing in 1999. In fact, he arranged for white roses to be delivered to Marilyn's gravesite twice a week for 20 years after her death. They definitely had just a close relationship until their final days.
It's a wonderful romantic picture there, and I wonder if it's even theoretically possible for somebody to be a star in the same way today that she was back then. Somebody that had one of her marriages to the great American playwright Arthur Miller, who gave the world Death of a Salesman. Could you imagine some of the people in People magazine marrying the equivalent today?
Not a chance. It seems like the stars today, they're just looking for people who are in the limelight just like they are, sort of pseudo-celebrities. Back then, like Marilyn, they were after people who had power, who had prestige, like Arthur Miller, like Joe DiMaggio.
Who had a gravitas.
Exactly. Even some of the stars before Marilyn were gravitating towards Howard Hughes. He had great power, so I don't think it's the same thing at all today.
And it's also interesting to, I'm glad that these movies are available at the movie rental store, because it really makes you want to go back and see some of them. Looking back at them, what did you personally enjoy the most and surprise you the most?
I was surprised at how good she was as a dramatic actress. I mean, everybody knows the iconic, diamonds are a girl's best friend scene, and they know her as a sex bomb. But she was quite a good actress, especially in her very last film with Clark Gable in the Misfits. And she just was really underrated, I think, as an actress.
Thanks, Tim. Good job.